Hello everyone, I'm back. It's been a while. I've been super busy lately, but I've been meaning to make more tutorials, just that I didn't have time. So now I'm back and I'm gonna show you how to make a draw deck. So basically all you need to know is how to make a Moda Masu box. So refer to the previous video, or in one of the previous videos, I don't know which one, and the Baggi box, which I believe is the first tutorial. So basically what is it? It's a thing that will hold your cards like that. So in the box it's very secure, like that. And when you want to play, basically you just transform it and it will look like that. And it makes it easy for you to draw cards. So I guess it's good for deck builders. So that's like that. And you pull it, you transform it up, lock it, and there you go. Sorry for that bird. And when you're done playing, pull the tip of it, like flap it back like that, and lock it again, and then it's all good. Your cards are good. So the only problem is that big decks like this one, I mean this is probably the maximum size you can do, because you're using like baggy boxes, so it's always gonna be like the height and the width of the baggy is always the thickness of your deck. So I don't know if you can really see here, but this is probably the maximum, because that's where they collide. And if the deck was a tiny bit bigger, then this baggy wouldn't be able to close at all, because it would like be blocked by the other one. So that's probably the maximum size you can get. That's the only issue with it, but apart from that, it's fantastic. It works very well and it's very convenient. So let's get started. So we're gonna take some measurements. So this is my Citadel's deck, and I thought, why not make a draw deck with it, all right? We can also call that a card shoe, by the way. So we'll need some measurements. What we need is obviously the width of the box, the length of the box, and the height of the box, which will be basically a tiny bit bigger than the size of a card. So let's get these measurements. So the height of the box will be, okay, so the deck is 22 millimeters thick, so let's say 25, I guess. And a card is 89 times 56. 89 times 56. 89. 93. A bit, or maybe less. 92. And width. Oh, damn it! I forgot. I said 56 here. 56. Actually, I think I don't mind leaving a bit of space there. 93 is fine in the length, I think. Okay, so we'll need a Moda Masu box that is 25 times 93 times 59. So you just refer to the old tutorial, or you just use the website to calculate the measurement for your paper. In this case, it says it's 178 millimeters. So I'll just cut a paper that is that size and I'll be right back. Here I am with my piece of paper there. Well, I'm just using scrap paper because I don't really like wasting. Anyway, we're just gonna make like a normal Moda Masu, and the difference will be when we're gonna fold one of the sides. So I'm just gonna speed up the process because you should know by now how to make a Moda Masu. Alright, so here we are. I hope I was a bit accurate, but it's not really easy because I'm standing behind the camera, so I don't know if I'm really like lined up. But anyway, we're gonna do the folding now. So for the sides of the Moda Masu, it's exactly the same. I'm just gonna fold here and then mark the fold with a tool. Up, do the same on the other side. So the edges are quite sharp. I'll cut that because I think it's kind of ugly, but no rush. On one side here we will do like a normal Moda Masu, which is we cut up to the corner of the box, like that. So we can mark the edges here too. And alright, so that's how normally you make a box on this side. I'll cut this side so it will look centered, the line, but that's just me. So I'm just going to glue it, even though you shouldn't, but I think it holds better and it will be easier to see how you're actually attaching the back of the box. Don't want to cover it too much with glue because there's a part that is actually visible. So, up. Okay, well, so I glued it. I think it looks kind of dry, so you can see that it looks quite good. So obviously there will be a baggie there to stop the cards from falling, but it looks like the measurements were good. So now what you're gonna do is you're gonna fold against the line at the top on the other side of the Moda Masu. It's a bit tricky to not damage it all, but up. And that looks like that. So just mark the folds a bit better because it's a bit thick. Okay, and now you see this little diagonal here and here. You're gonna fold on it. I personally like to fold on both sides, but I think it's up to you. I'll just mark the fold as well. Up. It's not easy though because it's quite thick. Okay, so now it looks a bit like that, and normally if you just like push the sides, that's transforming into that shape, which is what we want. That will be the draw position, the sports mode. And when it's back like that, it will be in the box and secured and not moving. So now all we need to do is to make the two baggies. So you just need to take measurements of basically this surface, and that's all we need to know, because the baggie is, you know, the width and the height are the same. Okay, so as we made this, normally these are these measurements here. I usually add like a millimeter to the height or something, 1 or 2, it depends on the paper. I'm gonna use thick paper, so I'm gonna try to do it with +2 millimeters and we'll see. Which would be basically a baggie that is 59 times 27. So to do the calculation for your paper, I refer you to the very first tutorial. So here's my paper. I'm gonna speed up the process as well on how to make a baggie. So here we are, I made one baggie, so that's usually the first one I put. So if it's a bit tight, but I think that should be good, yes it is fine. If it's a bit tight, I would recommend to just open the baggie with, one flap of the baggie, you fit it and then you can secure it, but normally it should be fine. And then you just make another one like that for the top part. That should, if it fits at the bottom, it should fit at the top, but I'm just checking. Yes, it fits at the top. And usually when I do it in sports mode, I flip it. I don't know why, but that's a habit of mine. Yeah, there's no baggie at the bottom to secure it, so the cards are falling off. But it looks fine, so I'll make another one and I'll come back to you. So there we are. It should fit because I did exactly the same measurement. At the beginning it's a bit tight and usually it loosens up a bit after a few uses. So that's what it looks like. So I think it takes definitely more time than making a V-pocket, but it's really handy, and also makes a good use of scrap paper, because you see like these baggies, they're like using very like small surfaces of paper. So if you have like some scraps that you don't know what to do with, usually they're good to go in a draw deck, I would say. But yeah, then that's pretty good. You can also you don't have to make like a draw deck that is vertical like that. You could very well make a draw deck that is for horizontal cards, you know. It's just that the baggies would be on that part of the box instead of this part, and it would be just a bit like, the baggies would be longer as well. You can also make like double decks, like double draw decks, you know, like for example, Wingspan has a lot of cards, so you could very well do something like, oh, it's ugly, okay, but it's just to explain. You could very well make a very big draw deck and make some kind of divider there, and then you would have a deck there and a deck there. The divider, I would not recommend a kata because the kata goes up and then it's in the corners, in the edges, which is I just would probably do some paper that I've as a glue to the bottom of the box, and then like fold it in some kind of, like that, and then glue this part as well, and then glue that part. So it's just like does a separation there, and it's quite secure if you glue all these. But yes, you can do plenty of things basically. I just never had the use to do these, that's why I don't have any example to show, but they are totally possible, totally viable. And yes, that's it. Thanks for watching and see you in the next tutorial.